Okay, we're recording. Welcome to tonight's call. I'm so pumped that we're doing this team call together. I feel like it's been a while since we've done a big, huge team call like this, and it just lights everyone's fire. I know it lights my fire just because I love working with Abby and Lindsay and our teams, and I know a lot of you because we've worked together. And I always say fire creates fire, and there's only 59 more days in 2020. And some of you are like, woohoo, I hate 2020. It can end anytime because it's been the worst year, right? But that's a terrible mindset because, like, let's just face it that when January 1st comes about, nothing's going to change. Like, we're still going to be like in the same stuff, right? It's just, so don't wish 2020 away and don't like write off 2020 like it's just your bitch because you hate it. Like, just know that you can do a lot in 59 days left in this year. Think about the things that you can do. We think about Success Club, and you can hit Success Club in a month, and it only takes, you have 30 days to hit Success Club, right? But we know you can hit it in the first week if you want to. You know, you can hit Emerald in the first week if you want to. And so think about that as you're setting your goals and you're kind of setting your space for the rest of the year, because it might seem long to you, like, oh, 59 more days, or it might not seem very long, and it shouldn't, but let's make the best of it, right? That's important. So I want to ask you guys to kind of open this call. I want to ask you if you believe, do you believe in the compound effect? For those of you who haven't read the book, for those of you who don't really know what that terminology means, the compound effect is where you do something, right? And you repeat that something, whether it's a system or something that you're setting out for success or whatever, you're completing it, and you're like lather, rinse, and repeat, redo over and over again, right? In hopes, or you're trusting the process, right? That it's going to become a compound effect, right? And you're going to get results. So do you believe in that system? And this is what your coaches have showed you. Do you believe in that system? And I hope that you do. And I hope that no matter what roadblock gets in your way, no matter when you feel like this business isn't working for you, or something in your fitness or your nutrition or your body's working against you or your business is working against you, I hope that you realize that what you focus on grows, and the compound effect is a real thing. And I just did a post about this, sort of about entrepreneurs. And I said, what's the ratio of entrepreneurs that stick to the ones that versus the ones that don't? And then I put, well, I don't really know, like with a funny emoji, because I don't. But the point is that I do know that I want to succeed. I do know that I've failed in the past. I do know that I keep trying and standing back up and keep going over and over and over again, right? And I know that consistency always wins. So I know that I'm going to win. Like, because the equation for success is basically the compound effect. Doing things over and over and over again to achieve something, whatever that means to you, right? Success, until you reach success and whatever, again, that means to you. And then you do it again and again and again, right? And it's like layer upon layer. Okay, so I hope that you genuinely believe that the system that we have for you coaches and for our teams, whether it's a system of just Power Hour and going through your tracker, or whether it's Christina's new system for our team, with the open house and then the new coach calls, or whatever that is, that it will work if you work. And if your effort matches your expectations. And I told my team on my call last week, and I'm going to have you guys write this down. I want you guys to write this down. I will be successful as long as I show up and my effort matches my expectation. I will be successful as long as I show up and my effort matches my expectation. Because you can't fail. Like, you might feel like you're failing, but you won't if you continue to like be so damn stubborn that you are determined to win and be successful. And we all want to be on a winning team, right? And we all want to win. So like, we're doing it. Okay, so whether you relate with my story, Abby's story, Lindsay's story, and a lot of you know some of our stories, but we're kind of going to dive into more like technical rank timelines of our business and things that have happened and things that have like kicked us down. Okay, so whether you relate with one of us, like hopefully you relate with one of us and maybe our style or our failures or our success or whatever maybe has looked like yours or some of our struggles, right? But regardless, your business is going to look different, a little different, and that's okay. Your business is not, it's going to be on a different timeline than you think it should be. It's going to be, timing is everything, and you're right exactly right now where you're supposed to be. Not a step farther, not a different rank, not a different income, none of those things. You're literally where you are supposed to be, which is beautiful and amazing because there's so much room for growth. There's so much room for success, right? And so much room for failure, but we can't grow if we don't fail. So that's what we're going to do together. And that's what we're going to talk about. So I want to tell you, I'm just going to dive in to my story, and then I'm going to turn it over to the girls to talk about theirs. Okay, so I've been a coach for 6 years, and my name's Tabitha Sampson, for those of you who might not know who I am. I've been a coach for 6 years. I signed up in 2014, September of 14. I hit Emerald in my first week. I signed my best friend, and then I signed my spouse, and I became Emerald, right? And then right there, that solidified the fact that I can do this. Like maybe I can actually do this, right? And so I was pushing for Diamond hard. Like I thought that I could get to Diamond in 30 days. Like I didn't even know, but I just knew I could get there quick because I knew I was a workhorse and I knew I would stay up late to make it happen. And I had these big goals and I started earning an income. And I sort of am that person who has always envisioned, like at that point, I think I started to envision like I can do this and I can go Diamond. Like it's just 8 people, right? And it's just 2 Emeralds. Like there's no reason why I can't do it. Well, fast forward to 6 months and I finally hit Diamond. So March of 15, I hit Diamond. And at that point I was, and let me just tell you, I shared this with my team last week. You know how many coaches out of that Diamond team I have left in my organization? You know how many of those coaches are still there? Out of the 8 coaches. Okay. So does that show you that in the 6 years that the people that take you here, the people that you build a business with aren't necessarily the people that you might still have, right? It's going to weed out the people that aren't necessarily serious about their business. So I have one of those coaches left. So by early fall of that year, I hit 1-star qualifying. That coach was one of my really good friends. She held Diamond for 3 weeks. She went to Mexico and thought that she could just go to Mexico and her Diamond would stay and like she was a Diamond now and she didn't have to do anything or check on anybody, right? And she held it for 3 weeks and she lost it. And that was a kick in the stomach, right? Because you're just like, oh, you finally feel like you're getting somewhere. And then you're like, okay, like you feel like you're backpedaling. So I hit the brakes and I sat at Diamond for a very long time until Jessica Servi, who had a shake and share tonight, she can't be on here, hit Diamond in November of 2016. Okay, so I sat at Diamond for essentially 2 years, if you really want to think about it, and finally hit 1-star, and she's consistent AF. She's about as consistent as they come. So I knew that she was going to do it, and she's never ever lost her Diamond rank, which I have to give props to her because it's very unheard of that a Diamond coach has never ever ever in their business lost their rank, and she's been a Diamond for years. So at that point, I felt like, you gain some success, you're excited, right? But at that point, I started to feel desperate to leave my 9 to 5, which it's really like 7:30 to 5, because I was a dental hygienist, a full-time dental hygienist. And I started to like believe, I knew I could do this, but I wanted it more than like it was happening. And I started to become desperate. And they say that you either build this business out of desperation or inspiration. And I was building it out of desperation. And I started to work and work and work harder instead of smarter, and overwork and stay up late and wake up early and do all the things and think that I could outrun, like, I don't know what, right? So fast forward and insert to a time where I went through anxiety and depression, and I almost quit my business, and I was on the couch for like 3 months, and I hardly could function, and I had like worked myself pretty much to the bone and just put so much pressure on myself for my business, myself. And expectations are amazing. Like I said, your effort should match your expectations, but your expectations shouldn't be so far that you literally like are going to kill yourself to try to make that happen. So after I came out of that through medication and some personal development and just like clearing my mind space, I came back stronger than ever. I thank God did not quit this business because I do not know where I would be without it. And I then in, let's see, in May of 2019, I had not one, but two coaches in the very exact same day hit diamond. At that point, I was in 3-star qualifying, and I was freaking pumped. Like, I just felt like finally, I get to open my second business center if I hold this for 6 weeks. And that's stressful, but it can be done, obviously. And we just had a ton of fire on our team. Christina Solons asked me to do, and I just quit my job. So right after that happened, I think I waited for the 6 weeks. I was able to open my second business center in which my income almost doubled, because when you open your second business center, I'm just telling you, it's a game changer if you're putting it on your weak leg. And Christina Solons asked myself and the 2 new diamonds that I had on my team that hit it in the same day to do a call, because fire creates fire. And that was exciting, right? I felt like finally, like this is happening. And I was so excited. And quit my job, right? And held that rank for about 3 months. Both coaches lost their diamond in the same week. So that was a kick in the gut. I lost rank. I lost my 2-star diamond bonus. And I just kind of probably, I don't remember exactly how I felt at that point because I've grown so much since then. It in my mind, it doesn't even matter because it's like, it's just rank. Rank doesn't define me. But it is a setback, right? It does make you wonder, okay, is it me? Did I do something wrong? How could I have helped them stay? Whatever. But you know what? Last year we hit Premier. And Premier wasn't even a goal. You have to be just so you know, you have to be 2-star in order to hit Premier. Premier is basically it's the road to elite. And we hit it. And I had no idea that I was even like, I didn't know I hit it until I hit it. Like it wasn't a goal. I wasn't watching points. So that was pretty freaking exciting. So I was like, okay, I must be doing something right if we hit Premier this year. And so I lost my notes here. And then just to fast forward this year, I've had 3 accounts go diamond, but all of them which are on the same leg, so it doesn't rank advance me because I built for volume, because Lindsay Gray taught me early on in my business that volume. We get caught up in the rank, and she would always say, "But what's going to get you home?" And that's volume. And so that's what was my focus, because she had quit her job and I like always looked up to her for that because I wanted to do what she did. And so even though rank is intriguing, like it's not, I'm just saying it's great. You need to move forward. You need to have those goals, but volume's usually always what's going to get you to like that income goal. So looking back, so that's kind of my story in a nutshell. Gives you kind of a few ideas of how I kind of lost rank and how I struggled, and coaches quitting, and honestly back to the coaches that hit on the very exact same day. One of them's not even a coach any longer. One of them isn't even an emerald anymore. So it just goes to show you that, like, was that in my control? No. And one of the things I've had to learn big time is that I can't control the controllable, right? I'm one person. I can't be everything to everyone. I can only do so much for my business and for my coaches. I can't take all that on. And you can't be in a hurry to get somewhere. Like, it's so good to be like running through the gates and to have all these goals and be so excited. And I have like this fire and excitement to build my business, but it sort of can be kind of a like double-edged sword, because it can also I've shared with Lindsay and Abby, but I just like struggle to balance all the things. And it's still a struggle of mine. But like I said at the beginning of the call, like you can be in as big of a hurry as you want, but your business is only going to grow when you grow, right? Like if you're not growing, do not expect your business to grow. Like you better be working to like, because I wasn't ready. Like I wasn't ready to be a 5-star probably, right? I wasn't ready to hold on, we have girls popping in here. Because probably leadership wise, I wasn't ready, and I'm in the exact timing that I'm supposed to be. So all right, that's pretty much all I had for you guys for my story. So I'm going to turn it over to Abby, and she's going to share.
Hey guys, I love seeing all of you on here. So I wanted to talk, you know, when Tabitha came to me and Lindsay about this call topic, I was like, okay, yes, like I think this is awesome to share basically like our highs and our lows, and how Lindsay put in her story the other day about how success is not linear. And I think so often we think that it is, and we think that once we reach a certain, whatever it is in life, business, relationships, anything, that we think that once we hit it, we're going to be able to maintain it or continue going up. And that's not what success looks like. Success is up and down. And I want to share with you guys about how limiting belief and feelings of unworthiness have led me to go through cycles of self-sabotage in my life. And I have overcome it a lot. Like I want to say the me today is a totally different woman than the me of 10 years ago when I started. I signed up in April of 2010. So I've been doing this for a little, I feel like I'm the grandma on here. Like, I've been doing this longer than I think anybody on this call. And so I've had a lot of highs, and I've had a lot of lows, and I've had a lot of, I think a lot of the things that I've experienced would have caused the average woman to quit and to give up and to give into those feelings of self-sabotage and not, you know, not feeling good enough or anything like that. But if I have anything, it's like I'm tenacious. Is that the right word? Like, I'm just like, I do what I say I'm going to do. And I remember in my first few years, I'm going to share with you guys my timeline in just a second. I remember in my first few years telling my upline, I know that I'm not diamond yet, and I know I've been saying it for years, but just know that I know that I'm going to do it. Like, I know I'm going to do it. It's just, it takes me longer to do everything than it takes everybody else, because it takes me longer to learn everything, I feel like, than it takes the average person. So I signed up in 2010, and I went Emerald like my first week. Like a day or two later, I went and got my hair done, and I talked to my hairdresser about the shake I was drinking, and I signed up for the discount. And she was like, oh, I want to drink that. I want a discount too. And then I tell Shauna, and then she's like, well, sign up, Paul. So then I went Emerald, and I just started sharing it with everybody. Like I had like a shake and share at my house like a couple weeks later, and I was signing up coaches and all of these things. And I was like getting really excited, and I was starting to see the bigger picture and all of those things. And then I remember sitting on a team call. Christina used to have team calls every Monday night. And they weren't like this. It was just, you know, conference calls, because that was 2010. And she made, I don't even know what she was training on, but the comment was, and Abby is going to be our next diamond. She's on fire. And it was like right then, like all of the limited, I even remember being like, I'm not going to be able to do it. Like, I can't do it. I can't do that. Like, what if I, like, it was all those feelings of like, I'm going to fail. I know I'm going to fail. And what did I do? I self-sabotaged, because I didn't think I was worthy of like going diamond and having any kind of attention or any kind of success. And so I just started like, and in the moment, it's never a conscious decision when we're self-sabotaging. It never is a conscious decision. We just start making excuses. We just start making excuses to not do the things, to not show up, to not do an action hour, to not respond to the messages in our inbox, to not post on. So we just start making these like excuses as to why like all of this is going on and all of that is going on, and the kids are crazy and life is crazy and work, I'm tired. And, you know, we start making all of these excuses, right? And at the same time, we started a fit club. Me and Shauna and Christina would come to it, and I would post about it on social media. And I was actually just telling my sister-in-law is on her first call tonight. I'm really excited for her. She's joining our team. And I met with her today, and I was telling her how my cousins were like hardcore making fun of me, like to my face, behind my back, all of it. And it drove me, like, it made me want to just like hide, right? At that time, I was a different woman. Had low confidence. I was insecure. I didn't think I was worthy, any of those things. I was an introvert. I still am an introvert, but I was much more introverted, shy, all of that. And I cared way too much about what people thought. And I didn't like that they were making fun of me and thought it was a joke that I was running these fit clubs. So it made me like just internalize like everything. And I started just like backing off a lot of things. And I also had a husband who was telling me that I didn't have what it took to build a business. He told me that for years. He did not start telling me that I could actually do this until I was making about $1,000 a week, which took me 4 years to do that. So I had like all these areas, right, of just like no greatness being spoken into me, limiting belief, all of that. So I had my own head stuff. And then I had all this external stuff basically telling me that I couldn't do it. But something inside of me was like, I'm going to prove all you wrong. I'm going to prove all you wrong. Has anyone ever felt that way yet in your business? Like, I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to freaking do it. Has anyone felt that way? Please, like, drop it in the chat. Like, I'm going to do this and I don't care how long it takes. So fast forward to 2014 and 2013, I got sick and tired of being sick and tired. I started putting in the work in January. It took me almost 4 years. January of 2014, I went diamond. A month later, I went star diamond because a girl who had signed up with me a few months after I joined, she went diamond a month later. And you know, I was maintaining that. And then in April, and I've never really shared this with anybody, but in April of that year, I went through like some really hard stuff. And I backed off from everything. I actually fell into a depression. My marriage was imploding. Like all of these things, like I felt like the world was like out to get me. And I had to take like a step back. And I really wanted to give up. Like I didn't want to respond to messages, and I didn't want, like I had all of these like excuses in my head. But then that fall, I like pulled myself out of it, started working a little bit again, but I've never been like, where Tabitha's like a hardcore workhorse and like she just freaking, that's not me. I started working again, and that December I did my first ever vision board workshop with my team. And I wrote on there, I'm holding 1 star. I would go in and out of diamond and 1 star because my coach would go in and out of diamond. And I wrote on there 5 star. I didn't even know what elite was. I never even heard of it. I just knew that like 5, like let's go 5. I hear about 5 star. I didn't even know anything. And that next year, I got to work. And all I did, guys, I think we think there's like some magic thing. There is no magic thing. I showed up. I was consistent. I added value. I ran clean eating groups all the time there. Then I free clean eating groups. I added value, and I was excited, and I transferred enthusiasm to people. That's it. And in that time, I learned how to speak greatness into people. And if you don't have that skill yet, that's a skill that you can learn. You can learn how to speak greatness into people, because a majority of this world is never told that they're doing a good job. A majority of this world is never told that they are made for something greater and something more, and they're worthy. And if you can learn that, if you can know it for yourself, that you're worthy and deserving of something more, and then you can transfer that to other people, you'll be unusually successful. So that's all I did. I learned how to do that. And that fall, we went 3, 4, 5 within like 6 weeks. And we held it. And then all of a sudden I get a call from corporate being like, you have enough points to hit elite. I didn't even know what the hell elite was. I wasn't even going for it. We ended the year as an elite team. That next, Christina asked me to speak at Coach Camp. I was getting all of this attention, and I didn't feel worthy. I remember in January of 2016, sitting and talking to a friend and being like, I think I peaked. I don't even know how I did this. People would be like, oh, awesome job. And I'd be like, it was God, because I don't even know how I did what I did. And I had these like deep feelings of like, I don't deserve this income. I don't deserve this team. I never shared it. Nobody would have known that. But I had all of this internal stuff just like going on in my head of not feeling like I was worthy. In 2016, we had 2 more, and guys, I went 5 star without a second business center and without my husband. There were 5 coaches. I did it without bringing my husband to Diamond, without bringing a second business center to Diamond. In 2016, I brought my second business center to Diamond, and another coach went Diamond. But we never hit 6 or 7 star because I held 5-star for over a year, never lost 5-star for over a year. We were a really strong team. But not all 7 held at the same time. And then at the end of 2016, I missed elite by 12 points. And I was like crushed. And then I was angry because then in January, they changed the elite system where you only needed 105 points to hit elite instead of 135. And I just felt like the world was against me and I was angry. And it was almost like those feelings of, see, you don't deserve it. You're not worthy of it. And it was like this constant battle of me battling, feeling like I wasn't deserving of any of it. So I stayed consistent, but for 2017, 18, 19, like I left phase 1. I left hardcore recruiting. I went into management mode. And some coaches honestly go into management mode when they're an emerald. It's like, stop it. Don't do that. You can never go into management mode. You have to stay in phase 1 of your business. You have to stay in your own success club, your own recruiting, going emerald every month. You have to do that or your business slowly declines. And my business did. I went in and out of 3 to 5 star for 2017. 2018, it was between 1 and 4 star. And then, 2018 and 19. And then all of 2020, I've been sitting at 1 star. And I feel like a fraud and I'm embarrassed about it. And I don't talk about it because I know that it's me. I know that it's me. And I know it's through my own self-sabotaging, my own limiting beliefs on myself. And in all of this, guys, I have gone through hard things. A lot of you guys know, not everybody, but my daughter went through like some severe like mental health stuff in 2019 that literally like we lived in crisis mode for like 8 months. Continue to do so sometimes. Things have happened. My son now is battling stuff with his health that like is rocking our world. Like, but I still show up. I don't use it as an excuse. How many of you guys, it's like the cat gets sick and you don't show up for 2 weeks to your business? Somebody's laughing. Someone's unmuted. But like, how often does that happen? Because that's what I did back in my early years, you know, it's like something, you know, whatever went wrong or I don't know, and I just didn't show up. So why I'm sharing all of this and why I was like willing to be vulnerable and share it is I want you to know that success isn't linear. And so often you look at people and you think that they have it all together and they don't have those thoughts that you have and they are not feeling the things that you're feeling. And here's the thing, the only difference between someone who's not successful and someone who's successful is they show up every freaking day. And they know that they're worthy and they continue to show up and they stay consistent. And quitting is never an option. Is quitting an option in your head? Do you allow yourself to think about quitting? Because if it is, why are you even here right now? You're here right now because you want to make something out of this. So I've been telling Tabitha and Lindsay, I'm almost done, girls. I know I'm going over. I've been telling Tabitha and Lindsay, like, I have been ready for a comeback. And you guys are going to see me come back. Like, I was all ready for a comeback, and then shit hit the fan again with family stuff. And I'm never stopping, never anything. And I know that the only one holding me back is me. I know that I'm worthy now. I know that that was the one thing I don't think I mentioned that, but like personal development from day one. It's like, if you're not willing to do that, you're never going to grow. And know that where you are right now is in line with your level of personal development. So if you want more for your life, if you want to level up, if you want to be better, if you want to be more successful, you need to up your personal development. Because Tabitha mentioned it, like maybe she wasn't ready for 5-star at this moment. Where she's at right now is in level with her leadership level and her personal development level. Where you are is in line with your leadership level and your personal development level. You want more, then work more on you than anything else, and you will be unusually successful. So now I'm choosing to go back. You know, I've talked to Sharon so many times about this, like phase 1, recruiting. Like I love my team and I'm all, you know, super consistent with that, but it's like I have to get back to building the basics for me. So I'm just reading my last of my notes. I never really look at my notes, and then at the end I'm like, wait, what did I not say? Yeah, so anyways, why I want to share is just to know that you're worthy and know that you're deserving of success, and know that everyone struggles. It's just how long are you willing to continue until you made it past your struggles. Like, what if I gave up before that 4 years? What if I gave up? How many of you guys have been a coach for like 18 months or 2 years and you're like, shit, I'm not diamond yet. This isn't fair. Like, maybe I'm not cut out for this. It took me 4 years, and look at the success that I built. And it wasn't until my 5th year that I built this into a 6-figure annual income. Like, if in 5 years from your start date, you could be making 6 figures, wouldn't that mean those 5 years of not making much would have been worth it? So I talk really long. We said we're very long-winded. All 3 of us. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lindsay. It's all you. Take it away.
Can you guys hear that? This is Abby's comeback song.
Don't call it a comeback.
I was waiting for that moment for so long. I was sitting over here smirking. Okay, I'm going to be really honest with you. I am so energetic right now, and I don't even know what I'm going to say to you guys. That's the best part, is that I just know that Abby and Tabitha just brought so many walls down. I literally sat here and watched all of you, and over time, at least every single one of you at some point was like, I relate to that. Oh, I get that. Oh, I'm more like her than I thought. Oh, that's me. Oh, I can let go of that. Oh, I'm worthy too, whatever it was. And so I just want to say, I'm proud of you guys for being here. I'm really proud of you guys, of Abby. You were super vulnerable. And I am excited to tell you just a few things, right? Okay. The first thing I want to tell you is that I love 2020. I think 2020 is one of the best years we've ever had. It is making everyone go in here, and no one likes to go in here. It's a fabulous frickin' year. There's a bunch of stuff going on. I do not minimize the losses that people are having, the financial hardships and all of that, but how many people are having to sit in pain that they've been able to cover up with busyness and everything else their entire lives. I think 2020 is a great year. And for a lot of you that don't know, that's a pretty big thing for me to say, because for the past 8 weeks, I've been separated. I'm not going to continue that sentence because children are in the room. And for the last 4 weeks, I've been here by myself-ish, kind of, if you can catch that drift too. And in all of that, I still feel like this is the best year, because it's my decision, first of all, for anybody. Everybody's first thing they always want to say is, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, oh, please, I love you. And I know you just love me, but like, don't apologize. This is a fabulous thing when two people, or when anybody, whether it's a business, a relationship, whatever, when you can look at the hard things that you need to face that you've been ignoring for so long, that is painful. And it's also a very beautiful thing, because only growth can come out of it. If you're hiding from it, pushing it under the rug, pretending everything is okay forever in your business, in your relationship, then you're never going to go anywhere. So what are you pushing under the rug in your business right now? I pushed things under the rug in my relationship for years. Guess what I've done in my business? That's a learned response for me. That's a trauma response for me. That's something I have to heal. Guess what I do in my business? When I get comfortable, I push things under the rug. My success is not linear, because there are things that I have, that Tabitha has, that Abby has, that all of you guys have, that we do that maybe are self-sabotage or whatever. But I just wanted to share that kind of beginning part with you, to tell you that, like, there is something, like, we always think, well, maybe this just isn't for me, and maybe it's the way that I'm inviting, and maybe it's this, and maybe it's that. And at the end of the day, you guys, it's about you leaning in to your fear, building that into a confident spot, finding the next fear, building that confidence, and not giving up on you. Don't abandon yourself this time. You're here for a reason. You want this for a reason. Glennon Doyle doesn't want you to abandon yourself, and neither do I, and neither do you. You're not here just to waste your time, right? And sometimes I think we just go through the motions like we do in relationships because, well, I'm just comfortable right now and this is what I'm doing. This is what I can manage this. And even though it's not where I want to be, this is where I'm comfortable because I have this going on and this going on and this going on. But if you just leaned in a little bit too into the pain, success is not linear, because when you're here and you're plateauing or you're up and you're comfortable, that dip is the next thing you have to learn and go through to go up more. But people often quit there. Have you read The Dip? People quit in the dip when on the other side of the dip is exactly what you were supposed to experience to get you there. So what is the dip that you keep giving up in? And is it really as hard as you think, or is it just a little bit uncomfortable? Because I promise you right now that in all the changes of 2020, in my life personally, through the pain, through the hardships, through the change, through the emotions of everyone, I have never felt so authentic and empowered in whatever it is that I'm doing, because I know that I'm doing it with a full heart, right? So the best thing that you guys can do for yourselves is recruit a new team. The best things that you guys can do for your customers is recruit new customers. You have to do, I'm just going to give you a couple tips right here and I'll tell you why, but you have to serve the people at your table exceeding your expectations. How many of you can say that when people come into your challenge group and onto your team, that they get more than what you post about on social media? Because if they're getting just what you share on social media, they're getting the bare minimum. And you know you can deliver more than that. But if we only say we can deliver this, then maybe I don't have to do that 2-minute live video to pep them up today. Maybe I don't have to do that extra meal plan this month because I said I would, right? So my whole point here is with your team too, we often get so caught up in being like the management mode that Abby just talked about. So like, I'm going to have all these team trainings and I'm going to do all of this stuff for my team, because if people see that I'm doing all this, then they're going to want to come here. And then you leave nothing for phase one, which is all great. You have to serve the people at your table and you have to serve them well. But the absolute best thing you can do for your team is recruit a new team. A new team meaning new fire, new blood, new belief, new excitement, new faces, new energy. Because if it stays stale, right? If everybody just keeps feeling like, I don't really know what's going on, if you're not popping emeralds, like Tabitha's Emerald City right now, if you're not doing that, then where's the excitement gets lost, right? So I want you all to know right now, like the best thing you can do is find a system to support the people you have exceptionally well, but always bring more people in, because that is really the secret of it, is staying in that phase one. So really quick, just to kind of say, I'm not going to tell you my whole timeline, but I will tell you that a couple things for me is that, so I am somebody who I work really hard for a goal. You'll never see me disappear. I will always show up. In the times of my life that are the most hard, I'll even show up more. Right? That's just how I am. So a couple things about me. One, I make the mistake to think that everybody's like that. I have a really strong work ethic. I have a really strong passion, and I do not show up. I might pull back and disconnect in different ways so that I can continuously show up in my phase one on social media in the ways that I need to. I might minimize, but I'll never disappear. And I often, in my journey in the past 7 years of being a coach, I have thought that other people are like me. And they're not. Not saying that what I do is right. Okay. But what that means is that when I think that if people aren't asking me questions, if they're running, it seems like they're doing good, then they're good. Because I never ask Christina for help. I never ask Christina questions. I figure it out. I'm just somebody who does it. And that's just what I like to do. I just like to jump in, lean in, do what I need to do. And I've made the mistake in the 7 years of being here of serving the people at my table exceeding my expectations, even the ones that I thought didn't need me. Okay. The people who are doing the most, we often think they don't need our help. our challengers that are rocking it, we'd rather reach out to the people that aren't showing up for a week to like try to pull them back in and be the coach we said we were going to be for them. Meanwhile, you should be pouring into the people that are showing up for you. Same with your team. If you have coaches that are showing up, they are the people that get your attention. You still try to rope the other people back in, support them how they are. But my biggest thing is I have always tried to help the people that are struggling more than lean into the people that are killing it. And I think what that's done is allowed me to not build a house of bricks, because what happens is I think that also, hi honey. Okay, in 1 second, all right? Okay, what? I don't know what you're saying. Not you? Okay. Cool. I'll be done in a minute. Okay. All right. So I feel like I haven't built a house of bricks is basically what I'm saying. I think that when people hit diamond, my thing, and I'm just being vulnerable as well, is that I believe in them so much that I think that they don't need me as much as they do anymore. So I don't fully pull away, but I start treating them like the leaders I believe that they are and that I see that they are. And I feel like I could lean in more than I have. I think that's resulted in some distance between some diamonds that have fallen that I think probably could have got prevented had I continued to lean in the way that I feel I needed to. Every person is different. Like Amanda didn't need me that way, but other diamonds have. And then the other thing is in building on bricks, I also believe in sharing what our goals are personally, but I have found that a lot of top coaches, and this is why you cannot compare your business to other people and do what other people do and think you're going to have the same success, because other top coaches, I've watched them say that a big thing that they do is share what they do with what their goals are with the team. I want our team to be 5-star elite. I want our team to be a superstar team. And then the team all rallies together and they all do it together because they want to all have that too. And I've found that when I've shared those goals, the minute we hit it and like, I'm so excited and I'm like, okay, we really have this team that like we're linked together. We did this together. We all want it together. We hit 6-star. The next day we were going to hit 7-star. We didn't because their husband went inactive. And I was like, how did I miss that? But we were still at 6-star. And a month later we dropped down to 2. How? We held it for 6 weeks. How did that happen? Because they were always hitting it for me. I have an amazing team. I have amazing friends that want me to be successful when I share my goals. But what I have to get really great at is helping them realize they don't need to do it for me. They need to do it for them, and like leaning into that. Does that make sense? I'm having a hard time putting that last part in. But I hope you kind of get what I'm saying with building on sticks and building on bricks. The team, like you all have to have that connection. It's about the connection all the time, and it's about pushing through that way. So for me, I've always kind of built out of desperation and inspiration. I hit emerald rank in 60 days. I had a baby and I dropped down. I thought I was going to quit. I decided not to quit. I hit diamond like a month later. And then I went part-time like 5 months later. And then I quit my job like a year later. And then I plateaued for like 4 years because I was comfortable. I wasn't desperate and I wasn't inspired. So I just kind of plateaued. But I often build out of desperation and inspiration until this last few years when I've really dug into what Abby was talking about, which was like myself. And we actually we already have all of our premier points. We just need one personally sponsored coach to go diamond, not for me, but for you too, but for me too, and for everyone else. But that's all we need. And we have premier secured. And normally we've hit premier 2 other times and we've like tried so hard and we finally made it, right? And this time it's like it's just naturally happening, which is really cool. But anyway, and it's because I'm leading more with like my heart and my soul and what feels good and trying to do those things that I've kind of explained to you at the beginning of this. So leaning into those pieces, not thinking that others are like me, making sure I'm showing up and exceeding their expectations. What did I write right here? I don't even know. It doesn't even matter because let's see. Yep. I don't even know. That's it. That's kind of all. That's it. Like my timeline doesn't matter because who really cares? Like all the ups and downs that I have, all that you guys really needed to get from this was that you are right where you're supposed to be. Like right now, like if you drop from Emerald to Coach today or this week, that's awesome because you're right where you're supposed to be. You're learning a lesson that's taking you to a solid Emerald. You're learning a lesson that's taking you to a solid diamond. Whatever it is, you're right where you're supposed to be as long as you're leaning into the pain, into the hard, and figuring out why, like who you need to be and what you need to do to get to that next level, like a relationship. Who do I need to be and what do I need to do to get to the next level, right? So with that being said, I'm going to see if Tabitha and Abby have anything to say. We do have a little activity for you guys. It's not long. But Tabitha, did you want to say something since it's been a while since you talked?
No, I'm good.
I'm good
Oh.
too.
Oh, okay, cool. So you guys, I'm sure you can relate to one of our stories. I mean, we all are saying very human experience things, right? Like Tabitha, with that kind of that self-doubt and like just that, one of the biggest things that she said that really hit me was like when she just was getting so frustrated. I remember when she was about to quit and I was like, oh my gosh, no. And she was like so close, but then she leaned in and she found her fire again, you know, and it's like, it's figuring out what she had to do. And then Abby with her self-sabotage, and then me with like saying kind of what I do is I kind of run all the time, but I hit a goal and then I relax. And often in that relax is when I lose everything I worked for. So it's finding more of that consistency. But I'm sure you guys can kind of relate to one of us. And if you can certainly relate to one of us, drop it below. Or if one of us said something that made it spark in your head, maybe something completely different, but that you feel like you struggle with and maybe is the thing that is holding you back from moving forward. Like, what is it? Do you not believe that I know this is a big one. I can't handle the team that I want to recruit. I don't have the time for the team that I want to recruit right now. Therefore, I'm just nervous to start recruiting. I don't feel confident getting coaches started right. I don't feel confident getting customers started right. I'm just scared. Right? I'm just scared. I'm fearful of what it looks like to actually have the team that I say that I want and then like have to show up in the way that I have the expectations. That's going to be hard. I'm scared of being hard. There's all these feelings that come, or scared of doing something hard. There's all these feelings. So what is it that you guys feel, drop in the chat, that you kind of need to dig into and that you can relate to? I see a whole bunch of stuff coming up here. This is good. So a lot of you that are committing or like kind of being able to connect with all. Abby, yes. Okay, so our whole goal for you guys is like the reason that we wanted to share all of that is so that you could relate to us. Also that you could see that, by the way, I went from Success Club 0 to 6 in like 2 days at the end of the month, crapping my pants, thinking I was going to end my streak. So trust me, if there's a will, there's a way you can do it. For all of you that are having a hard time, I want to tell you incentives is the secret. I have lots of incentives at the end of the month. I can talk about that another time. But kind of what we want you to do is identify in you what you know that maybe you haven't even spoken because you don't want to admit to anybody. You don't even want to admit to yourself. What is it that you are not doing and you need to do that is holding you back from that next level? Now, if you don't want to drop it in the chat, then you don't need to, but we would love to kind of see what you guys are coming up with, because the whole thing is that you can get on any call and listen to all of the information over and over and over again and like leave the call and be like, I'm so fired up. And then the kids and then whatever. And you wake up the next day and you're like, oh, the call. Like sometimes I'm like,
I don't even remember.
Right. I'm like, what was the call about? So we want you to kind of walk away tonight with something that you are committing to for November. Is it your personal development? I struggled with personal development daily for longer than I'd like to admit. It's not that hard. I did it. Is it putting yourself out there in a way that you know you should more on a video? Is it inviting? You know, we all have something. Is it self-sabotage? What do you have to do? So we would love to see you drop in the chat what you need to dig into. And if you're feeling really confident right now and you can make that commitment for November, type something below like I am, or I would say I am, not I will. I am doing this in November. And let's see all of you make a small commitment, no matter what it is. Maybe it's going live in your challenge group once a week because you know that energy is going to change everything for your community and people are going to talk about it and want to be there more. You know, there's something that you can kind of do here.
I just want to I'm reading some of the chat, and do you mind if I comment a little bit?
Go
So
ahead.
one, Miranda, if you want to ever call me, just text me and we can schedule a call, because I love doing stuff like that. I know we're not on the same team, but I would love to help you. Heather said she needs to learn how to talk to people about the journey without being scared. I can relate to that 100% because I was so afraid to talk to people. Like I had to learn how to communicate with people that were not in my direct, like my family I was comfortable with, but anybody else, like I had to learn that. And that's a skill that has to be learned. And you only learn that through doing it. So start by connecting in with your sponsor coach and sharing your journey with, like, talking it out, like face to face or in a Zoom, or it's practice. Like that practice makes perfect, right? You're not going to get confident on learning to talk to people about your journey until you actually start practicing it and then doing it and then walking away and being like, oh my God, I sucked at that. What the hell just came out of my mouth? Like that was me. Like what the hell just came out of my mouth? Like why did I say those things? But then I still went and I did it again. This whole business is failing forward. Do any of you guys want to comment on some of these? I feel like we should kind of comment on some of them. Lisa talked about not feeling worthy and needing to own her success. And guys, all of that comes through personal development. Like bottom line, personal development and daily affirmations. How many of you guys, raise your hand, do you say daily affirmations every single day that are in line with this business and you growing as a leader and growing your business? Come on. Daily affirmations in regards to this business. Speaking it into existence is what's going, I mean, I pray about my business. Like I pray for God to bring leaders into my business and to help me grow my business and to help me hit Success Club and to help me find people who want to get started with me. Tabitha, are you seeing any that you want to comment?
Yeah. I mean, there's so many things, but like time management is huge. And this is something that like I feel like I still struggle with, because really, let's be honest, like we're always going to struggle with it. Like it's because the day, just like right now, here I am, I'm working my business full time and I have so much shit I want to do. And then my kids are quarantined for 2 weeks and I'm like, you know, because it's just the way it is. Right. So my time has been interfered again, and I've got to adapt and overcome. Right. And I think that you just have to literally be so damn willing to figure it out that you just, even if it's just like not busy work, but sitting down to focus. Like I tell my coaches, stop responding to anything else besides, if you have invites to do your invites, do them and check that stuff off your list, you know, not to just check it off. You're not checking it off just to like check it off. You're actually being intentional and putting energy and excitement into your invites. There's a difference, but do it and then go live your life. Go do something else and then come back later and post on social media and then go live your life instead of being consumed. Because I didn't really share that, but I've been so damn consumed by this business because I love it so much. I genuinely love it and have such a desire and passion for it, but it can actually burn you out and it can make you feel like you're just like this prisoner to your phone. And so make sure that you're actually, and this is something I'm committing, my commitment to myself is setting business hours and actually setting the hours, doing the work, being intentional, and then going to live my life. And when my business hour starts again, I come back and I do it. And that's how you can have a successful business. And that's also, some of you might relate to the fact that like you're on your phone a lot and maybe your spouse is like, what in the hell are you doing? And why are you on your phone so much? And hey, remember your family, they're like here and you're like, I did that for a long time because I felt like if you guys can just bear with me for a little longer, I'm going to build this business and I'm not going to have to work it so hard. That was my mindset, right? And I was wrong. But anyways, so time management, like we could do a whole call on that, but there's a couple tips there where you just literally have to laser focus and get shit done and then move on.
The last thing I think I want to comment on is Jenna, you were talking about haters. So something I heard on a national wake up call probably 5 or 6 years ago. So probably I'm guessing before you ever joined Beachbody. And I don't remember who it was, but I know it was a male coach. And he was talking about like some of the same things. And he said he had to stop and ask himself. I think it was like a family member or something, like, did he want their life? Like, so the family members who are hating on you, are they living like this amazing life, like positive, motivating, encouraging, like living their best life? 9 times out of 10, haters usually aren't. And when you look at the life that they're living, you're like, dang, I don't even want to be living that kind of a life. So it's about like only allowing those, and I know it's hard, and I shared about like my cousins hating on me, right? I know it's hard. Only allowing, like not giving weight to the opinions of those where you wouldn't even, it's like there's nothing, I'm losing my words. Anyone to have a you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I just totally lost my words. Not giving any weight to the words of someone who isn't even living a life that you want to live. And then also asking yourself, like, who's paying my bills? Girl, you're paying your own freaking bills. They're not paying your bills. So if you care about what they have to say, then so often we stop doing the things and then we're not like living to our potential and reaching our goals. And for most of us, it's to make an income so we can quit our job or pay off debt or do different things, pay the bills, pay for a vacation for the family, whatever it may be. But then we never achieve that because we cared about what some hater said, whether it was a family member or not, where we wouldn't even want to be living the life that they're living. Does that make sense? I don't even see where Jenna is on this. But that's just something that really stuck with me a long time ago, was like, 1, they're not even living a life that I would want to live. And 2, they're not paying my bills. So I need to do the things that work for me and are in line with what I need to do for my life. And the more you do this, the more you'll be surrounded with more like love and positivity and community. Yes, others' opinion are none of your business. Sharon just wrote that. What were you saying, Tabitha?
You just have to, like, I said this a long time ago, and I think that, like, I thought my skin was thick. Like, you have to have thick skin. Like, thick skin, and I don't mean, like, thick skin so that people's stuff doesn't, like, their comments don't bother you. Yes, that. But also thick skin in the fact that, like, you are doing this with or without anybody else. Like, they can join you or like they can push on, right? Like Abby said, like they don't pay your bills. And the most freeing thing you can do for yourself is literally surrender that thought of like giving a flying what anyone else thinks. Just saying. Like it will literally set your business and your soul on fire when you authentically can do whatever you want to do because you want to do it. And you didn't have to ask anyone else's permission to grow a business.
Well, and why I wanted to address that is, even if you don't have haters, how many of you guys are so worried about what other people are thinking, even if they've never said anything to you? So it's like you don't want to put a post out there, you don't want to invite someone because you think that they're going to be a hater, right? And so we hold ourselves back, and it's like, they're not paying your bills. All you can do is just present this gift of a business, and if they choose to accept it, awesome. If they don't, that's okay too.
And you'll be surprised how many people think, wow, she's courageous. Like she's actually like, wow, she's inspiring. Like, but we don't think that. We don't think, oh my gosh, like so many people I bet loved my post. I can't wait to see all the likes because I'm amazing and I know they see it. Right? We don't think that way because it's just human nature to go straight to like the criticism. And I don't really understand why we are like that. But that's a whole nother call.
Yeah.
I wanted to comment on something quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Kimmy said, I don't feel comfortable coaching someone when I don't really know what I'm doing yet. And I love that because I think every single one of us has thought that at some point, and it's because we overcomplicate it. You enrolled as a coach, you know how to help someone enroll as a coach. You post on social media, you know how to tell someone how to post on social media. It is nothing fancy. You can plug them into the system, but at the end of the day, everything you're doing in your challenge group, I mean, you guys, when I started, I was inviting people to a challenge group and cheering them on for eating lean cuisines and like 100 calorie packs. Like I had no clue what I was doing, but I was having fun and they were too. And, you know, like I was just showing them like, it doesn't matter if you're going to do it wrong, kind of is what I'm saying. Like you can't do it wrong. You're going to find what, like, as you grow, you just like, even now I'll be like, oh my gosh, I just realized like I was doing this and I should do it this way. So let me reach down, grab those that are willing to grab my hand and pull them up with me. And then I'm going to learn something new. And then I'm going to reach down and I'm going to pull them up with me. You just need to be one step ahead. That's it. You know how to enroll someone with a challenge pack. You can teach someone else how to enroll someone with a challenge pack. You know how to ask Tabitha for help or Abby for help on a conversation. You know how to get them in a 3-way conversation with Tabitha and Abby if you don't know the answer, and help them get help on their conversation. So it's not rocket science. It's just showing them what you do know, continuing to learn, and continuing to show them what you know as well. And if you're a new coach, the best thing you can do right now is get someone to start with you. And if you don't have a leader that's like running with you yet, to build this business alongside of. That will be super fun. Another thing I wanted to comment on is I'm letting myself off the hook way too easy. I love you, Spruha. And I love all of you who let yourself off the hook way too easy, because that's your way of setting a boundary, and boundaries are actually a great thing. But is this the boundary you're wanting? Or is there some other boundary you're ignoring and it's affecting what you say you want? That's a big one. Boundaries are good. You're setting a boundary. You're telling yourself, I'm tired. I've had enough. I've had a long day. I need grace and space for me. And we need to do that. But should that boundary be somewhere else? Like saying yes to whatever. A lot of you coaches right now, and even Tabitha as a friend, like knows I've been setting some boundaries for me to be able to just do what I need to do, because you guys, I'm working from home. I'm homeschooling. I'm doing all the things that all of us are all doing in a new environment, because I'm an hour away from anybody, right? Like things are hard, but I have to set my business hours, that's my commitment, being even better with that. Like Tabitha, set my business hours, plan my day, plan my week, and say, if I need to set a boundary today, what is it from? I might not check text messages until tomorrow afternoon. I can't listen to my friend or get on a random phone call with my friend to just chat. If my dreams are this big and I said I was going to do this today, what boundary do I need to set? Right? We can't be available to everyone all the time. And often I tell myself I'm not allowed to do X, Y, and Z until this. That's my boundary, because my business and my goals and my passion and my belief of what my family and I can have and experience in this life because of this business, and the gift I can pass on to other people, matters more than the 20-minute phone conversation that I can have tomorrow. Matters more than the 10 minutes more of sleep that I can get, or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? So don't get mad at yourself for letting yourself off the hook, but ask yourself, where can I set the boundaries that I clearly need to set so that I can create this life that I said that I wanted to create, damn it, and that I deserve, right? And that I've been led here to do, right? This has all been put in our life for a reason. And so just kind of figure that out with that. Those excuses, oh my goodness, same thing. It's just doing it. It's just doing it. So I thought I saw one other one that I wanted to comment on, but I think that's pretty much it. You guys, at the end of the day, I just want to remind you that Megan Hansen's always says this. Like, I love the way she says it. She said it in a few calls a couple years ago, and it's just always stuck with me. And I'm sure she heard it from someone else, but I think of her when I hear this, it's like, this business is simple. This business is simple. The things that we need to implement into our lives that are already busy, that's difficult. But this business and what we actually have to do, these activities, are simple, right? The phone call to the doctor that I put off for days, and then it's really 5 minutes and no big frickin' deal. That's simple. Why do I make it so hard? These tasks, this business is simple. It's difficult to implement, but you can do it, right? So that's all I have. And so I'm going to pass it to one of you if you want to close, Tabitha, or if anyone has any questions, anything you want to say. Oh, how about next week's call too?
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to host an action hour together next week where we want to see all of you that set a commitment for November. We want you to check in. That's the very first thing we're doing on that call. Where are you with this commitment? Because, oh geez, as we all know, Tabitha, can you take over? I'm sorry.
Yeah. So we thought it would be really cool to follow up next Monday as a team call for all of us to come together, kind of bouncing upon what we've already talked about today and goals and being the end of the year and all the things, to do an action hour together, because we know that like action, massive effort and action is what's going to build our business. And it's always fun to just do it together, especially for new coaches, even like seasoned coaches, to kind of get everybody in that like routine and swing of like how you can make a power hour work and how it's really not that hard if we just, especially if we set a timer and we just do the things. So we're doing that next week at 7:30.
Yeah, so Fit Force coaches, like I know I put out our schedule. We were going to do one with Lisa at 8, but I already let Lisa know. We're going to use, I'll send out a different Zoom link. We're going to use Lindsay's Zoom, and it'll be at 7:30 next Monday. So make sure you mark it on your calendar.
And then also, I haven't let my team know yet, and I don't know if Abby told her coaches or if Lindsay told her coaches, but we're doing some fun things in September. Okay, so we're doing some fun things, and it involves a glass, and it involves like, well, it involves wine, but I don't have any more down here. But so we're doing a few wine nights. We're gonna I'll post them. We're posting a cute graphic to show you guys wine nights that we're doing together. Just a fun way, because right now, like, we can't get together. I mean, we can, but we aren't really able to get together. And we like want to display the community, because community is everything. I wouldn't know these girls if it weren't for this business, and I wouldn't have been like super inspired by them if it weren't for this business and all the things. So we're doing wine nights, and then we're doing, what else are we doing?
Super Weekend. We were going to try to all Zoom for Super Weekend, and then also a workout, right? Like a
Yes, and Friendsgiving.
Oh, Friendsgiving, the 25th, Wednesday the 25th. I mean, really, let's be honest. Lindsay was like, we're just going to come on and have a glass of wine and say hi to each other, but we're going to do a Friendsgiving.
Everybody have a treat.
Okay, so that we'll get you guys the dates on that stuff, and that pretty much wraps it up.
Yeah.
So let's do a picture.
Sorry we went so late, everybody, but we love that you all stayed on so long.
Yes.
That's commitment right there. That's dedication.
Okay, Lindsay, I know you're busy, but is it simple for you to